Hello everyone. Let's start with the discussion of revision test paper of CA Intermediate Paper 2. So let's start with the case scenario. This case scenario is based on FEMA. So we'll use the provisions of FEMA to answer this case study. OMX Software Private Limited is a private company having its registered office in Bangalore and is a wholly owned subsidiary of OMX Software Inc., which is situated in USA, which means OMX Software Inc. is a company which is incorporated in the US, which means that this company is not a resident in India, it is a person resident outside India. Mr. Rajat Kapoor, Mr. Shubham, and Mr. Peter are directors of OMX Software Private Limited. So, this wholly owned subsidiary in India has three directors, Mr. Rajat, Shubham, and Mr. Peter. Mr. Rajat and Mr. Shubham are Indian residents. So, out of the three people, there are two who are person resident in India, PRII. Who are they? Mr. Rajat and Mr. Shubham. While Mr. Peter, he is a non-resident, which means he's a PROI who stays in the US. Mr. Peter is also a director of OMX Software Inc. So he's also a director of the main main company. Mr. Rajat left India on 2nd November 2021 for the purposes of looking after business of OMX Software Inc. Now, here comes the residential status condition. So, when do we say that a person is a person resident in India? If he has resided in India for 182 days or more in the preceding financial year. However, if in the current financial year a person leaves India for any of the three purposes, one of the purpose which is mentioned is for the purposes of business abroad. So here, Mr. Rajat, he is leaving for the purpose of business on 2nd November 2021, which means now Mr. Rajat will become a person resident outside India. So if a person goes out India for the purposes of business or employment or for an uncertain period, then in that situation, he'll become a person resident outside India. So Mr. Rajat, he came back to India on 12th of February 2022 to meet his family and left India on 26th. So this was again a visit, will not make him a person resident in India, and went back to US to look after the business of OMX Software. Rajat again visited India on 25th of August and stays in India for the whole year. So let's assume here that he comes in India on 25th of August and he comes in India for the purpose of again looking after the business, which means that now from 25th of August, Mr. Rajat will again become a person resident in India because he's coming in India for the purposes of business. Let's move ahead. OMX Software Private Limited had availed a consultancy service from a company situated in the US for development of software for the purpose of rendering services to its customers situated in India. So there's some service which has been taken from consultancy service, and this consultancy service is for the purpose of development of software. So there's no infrastructure coming in here. Let's move ahead. Mr. Rajat had purchased a residential property in US on 27th of April 22. So what was the residential status of Mr. Rajat on 27th of April 22? He was a person resident outside India. And being a person resident outside India, there were no restrictions on Rajat on purchase of a residential property outside India. So this is completely allowed. Let's now have a look at the questions. Considering the provisions of FEMA, which of the following option correctly determines the residential status of Mr. Rajat Kapoor? So let's see. Option A says Mr. Rajat Kapoor to be treated as resident in India for financial year 22-23 and financial year 23-24 since he stays in India for more than 182 days. So no, this is not correct because he has left India for the purpose of business, so he becomes a person resident outside India. Moving on to the next option, Mr. Rajat Kapoor to be treated as non-resident for FY 22-23. So yes, because he has left India for the purpose of carrying on business and he becomes a resident in FY 23-24. So yes, this option is correct. So the correct option is option B. Let's move on to the next question. Considering the provisions of the FEMA, how much amount can a company remit outside India? So how much amount can a company remit outside India in this particular in this particular situation. So if you look at the case scenario here, OMX Software Private Limited, they have availed consultancy services for the purpose of development of software. So USD 10 lakh is permitted. So permissible amount to be remitted to US company for obtaining consultancy without prior approval of RBI is USD 10 lakh per project. So option A is the correct option here. Had it been an infrastructure project, the answer would have been different. Considering the provisions of FEMA in respect of purchase of residential property by Rajat in US, which of the following statement is correct? Is it a current account transaction or a capital account transaction? No, it is neither a current account transaction nor a capital account transaction, because the residential status of Mr. Rajat when he purchased the property was that of a person resident outside India. So the purchase is neither capital account transaction nor a current account transaction. Moving on to the next case study. Bhavish, Yash and Chirag incorporated a limited liability partnership for doing the business of trading of timber under the name Solid Lakkad LLP. Chirag has shifted his residence from 12 Block C Kamla Nagar to 808 Sector 1. So there's a change in address. Chirag informed the firm about the change on 20th November 2023, sending a written notice. Now, by which date Solid Lakkad LLP is required to file the notice with the registrar? So the notice with the registrar has to be filed within a time span of 30 days. So from 16th of November, 30 days come to 16th of December. From 16th of November, 30 days come to 16th of December. So the date would be 16 December 2023. Let's move on to the questions now. So this is a question based on the LLP Act, which says Mohit is a creditor of ABC LLP. He has a claim of 10 lakh against the LLP. However, the assets of the LLP are valued at only 7 lakh. Now, Mohit seeks to hold the partners of the LLP personally accountable for the shortfall of 3 lakh. So Mohit demands the deficit from the partner. Now you tell, is this correct or not? Now we've understood that in a limited liability partnership, the liability of the partners is limited to the extent of the contribution which they've made. And they are not personally liable in any situation. Their personal assets are also not at any risk. So in this particular situation, when there is a shortfall of the assets of the LLP to pay off the amount, Mr. Mohit, the creditor, he cannot hold the partners personally accountable. So here in the situation, no, the partners cannot be held personally accountable, and Mr. Mohit cannot demand for the deficit from the partners of ABC LLP. Moving on to the question related to FEMA. Mr. Shivesh, an Indian national, desires to obtain foreign exchange for the following purposes. So whether it is permitted or prohibited, let's see. Remittance of $50,000 out of a winning or on a lottery ticket. So again, this is a prohibited transaction, not allowed. Next one is $1 lakh for sending a cultural troupe on a tour of USA. So yes, this is allowed. However, approval has to be obtained. Approval from the HRD has to be obtained. So we have understood this when we were studying FEMA, that there are certain transactions which are prohibited, there are certain transactions which are permissible. So on the basis of that, you may be given different types of transactions, and according to whether it is prohibited or permissible and whose approval is required in which situation, we'll have to answer the questions. So this was it with respect to the questions of FEMA and LLP. So in case you have any queries, you can post in your queries on forums and we'll be happy to help out. Do reach out to us in case of any queries.